Okay, so I'm looking at that example 5, I believe, and I think I've got it typed in already. And if you remember, we had already found the zeros. So if I go to the graph, and I still have it zoomed in from that other one, but if I go to the graph, I can see my zeros. It actually worked out kind of nice. Where I had it zoomed in before, I can see my -1, my 0, and my 2. So awesome. I'm going to leave my window of my calculator the way it was. Remember, I had it going from -3 to +3. I don't know why. I'm going to change it to -4 to +4. Just because that top looked a little close. But remember, you can play around with your graph until you get it the way you want. All right, so when I'm looking at this, if I'm looking for extrema, I'm looking for a place where it's lowest but doesn't go on forever. So obviously it goes on forever here, and it goes on forever here, but here would be my relative minimum. Well, I know that's at the point 0, 0. I can go and do my second trace and my minimum, but I know that's at 0, 0 right there. So I would put my relative minimum is 0. If I could write on this page. Now, over here, I can see it's kind of got a little hump up in both directions. This one being the lowest is not one that we're going to look at, but this one would be our relative maximum. So for this particular graph, based on the domain, this is our relative maximum. So if I want to know where that is, I'm going to go second trace. I'm going to go to number 4, maximum. And I'm going to arrow over just really close to the left and really close to the right. And I can see, all right, here is my maximum value. So rounded to 3 decimal places out, 2.833. So I'd put my maximum is 2.833, unless they ask for the ordered pair, at which point I would put the whole order. All right. So again, sorry I can't write it here, but hopefully you can follow that and it'd be easy to see the calculator. All right, so I'm going to go now and change it over to that number 6. I've got it kind of written down, so bear with me as I type it in. I believe that it was x to the 5th minus 4x to the 3rd plus 4x minus 1. All right, now remember, oops, let me get the -1 in there. Remember that we weren't able to factor this and find the zeros. So our job is not only to find the extrema on this one, but also to find the zeros. So if I go graph it, and remember that I'm still in that graph window that I was before, which actually doesn't look so bad right here. If I wanted to get to the normal window, I could go zoom 6. I'm not going to do that just because this zoomed in the way I had it actually looks pretty nice. I can kind of see all the places. Now remember, with this being to the 5th power as our degree, we knew it was going to go down on the left and up on the right. But that also meant that it could possibly touch the x-axis 5 times. However, it doesn't. It only touches 3 times. So we've got 3 real zeros, which is probably why we couldn't factor, because all 5 of them are not real. And so if I want to know those zeros, remember like yesterday how we said we could go second trace, and we can go to 0. And I'm just going to start with this one here since my little blinker's so close to it. And I'm going to say a little bit to the left of it, and then up a little to the right of it. And it tells me, all right, I've got this 0 right here at 0.269. So I'm going to write that down, if I could, at 0.269 as one of my zeros. So write that down. And then I'm going to go find the next one. I've got another one right here. So second trace, 0, and then I'm going to go a little to the left of it. Now notice a little to the left is kind of above here, and then a little to the right of it. Oop, not too far. I try to stay pretty close because it makes it a little more accurate. And then it tells me, okay, that 0's at 1. Well, it kind of looked like it was, but just to be sure, so we've got an exact 0 there at 1. And then I've got this third one here, so I'm going to second trace again. And my 0, all right, so a little to the left, which would be just under the x-axis for this one. Oops, too far. I notice I get click happy and just go a little too far. And then a little above it. And this one, I can see my 0 is at 1.666. Ooh, not a good sign, I guess. But the 3 decimal places, we'll be all right for this one. All right, math is not the devil. Keep going. All right, so if we want to look at our extrema, we found our 3 zeros. Now let's talk about extrema. So I'm going to clear that off so I can see the whole graph. All right, so when I'm talking about extrema, remember I'm looking relative terms. So I've got a few places that look like they're going down. Well, this one would be my relative minimum. Got a few places that look like they're going up. Well, this one's going to be my relative maximum. So I would want to go through and do relative minimum here and relative maximum here. So going, again, second trace. If I want to go for my relative minimum, I hit the wrong thing. So let me just clear out of that. So second trace, I'm going to go to my minimum, which is way over here. So it's going to take me some time to get over there to the left. And again, I get click happy and it just goes and goes and goes. So I need to be very careful that I don't go too far. I feel like it's a lot easier on a calculator that's in front of you, but all right. So I'm over here on the left, enter. I'm going to go to the right of it, enter. And then it's telling me, okay, my maximum is at negative 2.619. Okay, so that would be my minimum value. And then my maximum over here. So I'm going to go second trace again. And number 4. And I'm going to head in that direction. Hopefully. Maybe. Here we go. All right, so pretty close to the left. Go on the other side. There I am on the right. And it tells me the relative maximum is at 0.619. Okay, so we should be able to find zeros as well as any relative extrema. So there's relative minimum and relative maximum. All right, so there should be one more portion to this one more video portion to this to round you up for this lesson.